are we going to get yours truly into play? We're also going to get to hit our mask. Brushfire Elemental. Hooking us up. Hooking us up. As well. Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks again for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are playing with a Gruul Aggro deck. We're just about to roll over into the new season, the first of the year, 2021. January is here. We're all racing into Mythic, and I wanted to share with you guys ahead of time the exact deck that I'll be using to grind it out within the first, hopefully, day, and maybe as long as 2 days, I hope, right? It could take us longer, but it only took us a day and a half last season, so we're going to shoot right up into Mythic as quickly as possible, and the Gruul Aggro deck that I've assembled here is looking quite favorable, at least for myself. So we'll break down the deck list, strategies, synergies, why the cards were included within the deck, so you guys have a awareness level of, how everything works together coherently, so you can hit the field running, so to say, and kind of avoid a lot of those weird little learning curves and mistakes or misplays that might incur along the way. If you're not interested in that and you just want to get right to the gameplay footage, use the chapter feature within the red slider. Of course, I encourage you guys all to like the video and subscribe for more content if you found any value today. And of course, you can hit that bell icon so you're notified of when all of our future uploads go live. We do have a chat because we do the live premiere process, so that's really cool. About an hour before, we all gather, start talking. It's really cool and a fun community experience, especially during these tough days. So you're not alone. Come hang out. We're always here. And yeah, getting into the deck, we've got 4 copies of Fervent Champion. This is a 1/1 with First Strike and Haste. Whenever it attacks another target attacking knight that we control, gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Equip abilities that you activate to target the champion will cost 3 less, which is pretty cool. Obviously, we do have Embercleave incorporated in the deck. 2 copies of this. This is a 6-drop legendary artifact equipment with flash, costing 1 less to cast for each creature that is attacking under our control. And when it enters the battlefield, it automatically gets equipped. And equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. This is amazing. It's going to help us get that damage through. The double strike is amazing. The trample adds a little bit more to it. So, whatever your opponent can't block is going straight into their health points. And we mix this with a lot of aggro attackers, and we try to get the strongest attackers out possible. The equip cost here is 3, which is why I wanted to jump to it right away. So if you equip the Embercleave to a creature and that creature gets removed, you can actually re-equip the Embercleave to the Fervent Champion for free, because of the Fervent Champion's equip abilities cost 3 less. So, that's the synergy within the champion. It is a great aggro creature. It reduces the cost of the Embercleave, and it can power up our other knights, including additional copies of itself. So the Fervent Champion, in my opinion, is a must-have for any red-based aggro deck. Moving on, we do have 4 copies of the Edgewall Innkeeper. This is a 1/1, and whenever you cast a creature spell that has adventure, draw a card. The cast spell does not have to enter play. It can be countered. It just needs to be cast from your hand, which is really cool. So a fairly nice draw engine within the deck. It also reduces the cost of our Embercleave, which is quite nice. It takes priority from our other creatures, which I would base as more aggro and more important in the aggro style format that we're looking to play, which is good. So now they're going to be focusing on your early game draw engine within the Innkeeper, instead of removing your damage output, like the Fervent Champion, for example. And I think they will take the Innkeeper even over some of our 3-drops, which is really nice because it kind of skews the priority of what their removal should be for our deck, because typically the Edgewall Innkeeper can be stuffed, filled with adventure cards, so your opponent's taking 1 to 2 extra draws per turn, and that's not a sustainable environment, which is what leads them to removal with such high priority, again, on the Innkeeper, which opens up, a lot of room for things in play, like the Rimrock Knight. This is a 3/1 that cannot block. It receives the buff from the Fervent Champion because it is a knight, and then, of course, it also has Boulder Rush attached to it at instant speed as the adventure, just to consume any of our spare mana that we might have. It also combos well with the Fervent Champion's First Strike, pushing it to 3, so, you can do some combat tricks there. take anything down with 3 toughness, which is quite nice through your first strike and not lose your champion. And of course, you know, we talked about Embercleave. Again, if you have a little bit of spare red mana over, you can increase the double strike by 2, which is, you know, double your value. Now you're getting 4. So there's a nice synergy there as well. Moving on, we do have 2 copies of the Scavenging Ooze. This is a 2/2, which we can pay 1 green source, exiling target card from your graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on the Scavenging Ooze, and you gain 1 life. So you'll see that we have 62 cards in the deck. Typically, I play best of 3. However, this is a best of 1 deck that I'm looking to try out, and I can't seem to make all of my requirements fit within the deck. I can't sideboard Scavenging Ooze. It doesn't have haste. It's not always the greatest, but there are specific matches where it is a must-have. So we've got it included in the deck. You know, we trimmed lands for it efficiently and effectively. It's balanced quite nicely. So, you know, this is the additional card, and we almost get saved by the MDFC lands, which we'll get to in a second, because it allows us to play with a different number of cards than 60 while still maintaining the correct ratio, which is quite nice. So, you know, the Scavenging Ooze can take out things with Escape, which is quite nice. It can gain you life for sustainability, and it can even, you know, keep your graveyard empty to protect you from rogues, stuff like this. So, you know, there's a lot going on with the Scavenging Ooze. Moving on, another high priority attacker that our opponent should be removing but won't because you played your Edgewall Innkeeper is the Brushfire Elemental, a 1/1 with haste, and it cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. It has landfall, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, the Brushfire Elemental will receive +2/+2 until the end of turn. If you drop a Fable Passage on the Brushfire Elemental, it goes to 3, and then if you crack the passage, it goes to 5, which is a key component in the deck, and we're going to swing back to that in a second. So, you know, this is a great attacker. You know, a 5/5 that can't be blocked potentially is a little bit absurd, and we can actually even do more with that, as we'll break down a little later on. 2 copies of Gallia of the Endless Dance. This is a 2/2 with haste, and other satyrs you control get +1/+1 and have haste. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards. So, you know, discarding a card at random can be kind of risky. You never want to discard an Embercleave because this triggers before you would typically equip it, unless you're auto ordering stacks or triggers, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. I think that would be how it is. You just have to auto order it. Yeah, but you don't want to discard your Embercleave ever, which is it's a thing. So don't do that, and typically it's good value if you can discard a land. If you have a land in your hand, I would take the risk, right? Because you're drawing 2 cards. What's the chance that you discard a land and draw 2 more lands? So I really like Gallia. We get hung up on it a little bit. It's a haste attacker. It can come in on top of the Great Henge, which we're also playing with. It reduces the cost of Embercleave. So really nice things within Gallia here. 2 copies of the Shatterskull Smashing. Now, we talked about the importance of MDFCs in the deck. It's a red land, which is great because we have the Embercleave as double red. It can also be a form of removal for us, helping to open up some of our attacking lanes, whether that be on a creature or planeswalker. Shatterskull Smashing deals X damage divided as you choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. If X is 6 or more, the Smashing deals twice that damage those targets instead. Into our 3 drops here, finally, we got a single copy of Klothys, God of Destiny. Now, this is a card that I still could not cut, that typically I run in my sideboard. Indestructible, a 5/4, and as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, it's not a creature. That's fine, because at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you get to exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a land card, you add a Gruul-based mana symbol to your pool, whether that be red or green, choice is yours. Otherwise, you gain 2 life, and the Klothys will deal 2 damage to each opponent. So this is going to be really good at taking out, you know, those escape cards again, you know, dealing with your graveyard against rogues if you need, and of course, a little bit of sustainability, not only through the indestructible if you can get it in play, but just through the 2 life gained, and the chip damage is quite nice against control decks, even so. The God of Destiny is all around a really, really good card for 3 mana, in my opinion. Kazandu, the Mammoth, and Kazandu's Valley. The Valley comes in tapped, that's fine. If you have it in your opening hand and you don't have the green to play the Mammoth, sure, play the Valley. If not, play the Mammoth, which is a 3/3 with landfall. When a land enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. Really important because we'll touch on that in a second. Lovestruck Beast, a 5/5 that can only attack if you control a 1/1. That's fine. We have the Fervent Champion, we have the Edgewall Innkeeper, we have the Brushfire Elemental. Lots of 1/1s to activate the Lovestruck Beast, plus we have Heart's Desire for 1 to create a 1/1 human soldier token as well. 4 copies of our Bonecrusher Giant. This is a 4/3, and whenever it's the target of a spell, it will deal 2 damage to that spell's controller. We have Stomp attached at instant speed as the adventure, dealing 2 damage to any target, and damage, of course, cannot be prevented for the turn. 2 copies of Questing Beast. This is a 4/4 with Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. Cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, similar to our Brushfire Elemental. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control cannot be prevented. This is nice against things like Polkranos, 9 lives. Polkranos will still die to Death Touch, 9 lives, they'll still take damage, and actually assimilate tokens to the 9 lives as well, which is quite cool. Anyways, whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target Planeswalker that player controls as well, which is really good. Now that War of the Spark is gone, it's not as important, but it's still a nice ability. So we mentioned reducing the cost of our Embercleave. Let's talk about reducing the cost of our Great Henge. The Great Henge is a 9 CMC legendary artifact, also from the land of Eldraine, the Broken Artifact. And this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. We can tap it to add 2 green to our pool, also gaining 2 life, and better yet, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. So this is going to be our draw engine late game. We have the Edgewall Innkeeper to draw early game. Let's talk about the most effective ways to reduce the cost of the Great Henge. We have 3 of them within the deck. The first is a Kazandu Mammoth. You play this on turn 3. On turn 4, land comes in. The Mammoth is a 5/5, reducing the cost of the Henge down to 4. Henge enters play. You have 2 mana. You play your Scavenging Ooze. You go to town. Sure, great. Lovestruck Beast is simpler yet. You just play it as a 3-drop. It's a 5/5. Next turn, you'd play a land. Henge in play. Same thing. Tap it. Hopefully, you can play your Ooze. But there is a better tech yet within the Brushfire Elemental and the Fable Passage. It's a little bit more of a reach. It does happen less, but it's a 1/1. When a land enters, it gets +2/+2. Passage in, takes it to 3. Crack the Passage, takes it to 5. Again, allowing us to reduce the cost of our Great Henge by 5 down to 4. Getting it into play on that turn 4, which is really, really good. So not only are all 3 of these cards massive attackers, but they can reduce the cost of the Great Henge, allowing us to basically walk away with the game. We already talked about our Embercleave, and we do have a Turn Timber Symbiosis to wrap things up. Sorcery speed for 7. Looking at the top 7 cards of our library, you may put a creature card from among them into the battlefield. If that card has a converted mana cost of 3 or less, it enters with an additional 3 +1/+1 counters on it. We get to put the rest on the bottom of our library. That's great. The Symbiosis on the MDFC side, or the opposing side, has the Serpentine Wood coming in tapped unless we pay 3 life, which is nice as well. So, we can play everything really effectively within the deck. I wish I could add a few more things, but unfortunately, we're playing best of 1, and that doesn't always work. So, this is my personal version of Gruul Aggro that I'm looking to play in best of 1 at the start of this season. Of course, if we can't make it work, which it looks like it will work, quick, repeatable matches with a 60+% win rate is typically what we look for in our decks, and then we can just grind out matches until we get there. This is looking really good, but again, if we can't get there, then we might have to incorporate a sideboard. We might have to go best of 3. I know that's not as popular with beginners who don't have the mass collection, but it is one of the more consistent and reliable ways to increase your rank over time. So thanks for bearing with me through this, meandering deck tech and talk. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're brand new to the channel or you've been here since the very start. Thank you so much. If you want to support financially, you can become a YouTube member for as little as $2. I think it's quite cheap. And you actually gain access to not only a VIP chat with myself and the other supporters, but you'll gain access to exclusive content every week as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't miss out on our 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize tournaments, and all that as well. We'll see you soon. And alrighty, our opponent goes first, which we all know is an illegal play. However, this looks not at. We really need this land, but I guess we'll get there eventually. Typically, I'd love to passage on top of the Elemental, and I think we can still do that since we won't be playing the Mammoth as a creature. We do have the Beast to fill the void for the Henge, which is nice. Rakdos sucks. They're playing Lurrus as well, which is pretty gross. So we do want to find our God of Destiny. We want to find our Scavenging Ooze so we can start dealing with their graveyard, right? Identify what deck you're playing against, and then isolate their threats. Ooh. Lots of removal here, that means... Loving that. We really need to be dropping the Henge next turn. The Beast as a full 5-drop. And hopefully they don't remove it so we can Henge on top. Or we try to hold the Elemental and push it up with a passage. Both of those options work. Right? We could Elemental, bank on it surviving, just deal a bit of damage. Or we could go straight to the Beast. But regardless, on our 4th turn, we want to have a 5/5 in play. So if that's the landfall from the Elemental, sure. Or if it's just the Lovestruck Beast, sure. But it's important for us to play that Henge. They're breaking their turn down here to the utmost. Which is good. I mean, I should spend more of my time thinking too, but... Just the removal. Really? Let's keep going at it. We're not losing any life. Actually, no, let's still pay life. Take our hit. We'll play it one more. But now they're like, well, maybe we should deal with the human token. But the Brushfire Elemental is really nice because it actually turns on the Lovestruck Beast as well. Passage in play. That is their 4th land, so you know they can do stuff for sure. It could be double Kroxa, right? We toss the Great Embercleave out of our hand, sadly. Right? Everything else we need. They are tapping the majority of their mana here. They only have 1 left, but they get the draw out of it, which is good, right? That's a nice move. You go in full control. To go into full control, you hit Control and Alt on your keyboard at the same time. You go into full control, and that allows them to play an instant on the stack instead of it just auto going through, which is nice. And like I said, we're ditching the cleave. Nice. They have 1 more mana. Totally tapped out. That is absolutely amazing for us. So not only are we going to get yours truly into play, we're also going to get to hit for a massive amount of damage. Brushfire Elemental. Hooking us up. Hooking us up. Up to 9 as well. So it's kind of disgusting how good this card is, right? This is a really busted uncommon. So if you're free to play individual, Brushfire Elemental can go in your deck for sure. 2 spare mana that we couldn't drop, but that's fine. They don't hold enough engrave for Kroxa yet, but I think they're going to get there. An Artisan in play, which is pretty cool. They can pull from their graveyard with it. Bleep bloop blop. They must have removal here. Let's grab our life from the henge, pass our turn. Oh my goodness gracious. Innkeeper in play. We get the draw. If there's no removal on this Innkeeper, we're going to get a double draw here. Lovestruck Beast in play. Draw off the Innkeeper. Yes. Beast in play. Buff it up. Draw off the henge. I love it. That is just delicious. And now this Fiend Artisan can't block us. We're going to go into Passage. Yeah, baby. Good game. And, you know, you can just kind of pile in a bunch of value with very few cards. Like this Brushfire Elemental. It's really good early game for the chip damage. You can do 5 damage a turn potentially. And then you're also reducing your Great Henge, which is really cool because typically we use the Lovestruck Beast and the Mammoth to do this, but they don't have haste, right? They don't have unblockable from creatures with power 2 or less. So it makes the damage output higher and the consistency of the Great Henge, you know, just as good, if not higher, because now we're running it and before we weren't. Alrighty, I mean, you know, not a bad hand. I still think that unless we draw a land here, we play our Mammoth. And then we just use our Lovestruck Beast as the big baddie. Mono white life gain is something. Maybe we can just really outpush them, right? God of Destiny can kind of mitigate their life gain that they do have from 27. Ooh, that's in house right away. Whoa! Access is going to be big, huge here soon. Let's just take the draw while they're still in play, right? We don't want to give our opponent too many chances to remove it. No attacks. Where is our henge? Where is our Embercleave? And let's get this indestructible out to block. And then we're dealing with their angels probably at 27, which is unfavorable. Holy, folding your hand to the field. Woo! We're gonna minus on Badgery next turn or just get right to the -6. Okay, there's the cleave, and we can smash the heck out of them. Or we need 2 attackers. We have to take it. At least we're dealing with Daxos. At the very least, right? Oh, it's going to grab Indestructible, but at least it can't kill us. We could keep the Innkeeper alive. We're not sitting on any other adventure. Let's just get this beast firing on all cylinders. Yes, it survives, and it blocks, you know, nearly all of the damage. Oh, it's dropped. They dropped it beforehand, which really, really hurts. They should have waited until the first strike damage was over, because then the devotion was higher and it stopped more of that damage. So we actually do kill on it, which is quite nice. And by golly, I'm not overly concerned. We should probably take the kill on this now. But the 1/1 allows our beast to keep hitting, so we don't actually want to lose that. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys seen it last match. See it again. Oh my god. Stop it! And we're gonna get the Ooze in play with all of our possible green mana. And it's like, what does Lurrus want to replay? Selfless Savior. They're only gonna get the option for one of them. And that is a big ol' hit. 17 damage coming over. Goodness gracious. I don't think they'll be pushing towards 27 anytime soon. They need Exile. Selfless Savior, sure. That is indestructible. There's the Speaker. Oh, they almost had it. They're at 28 for a second. And this I find absolutely magical. I mean, they can give it indestructible, but I'm going to exile the heck out of that dog if it goes to the graveyard. Because they already played from the grave this turn. This is at our upkeep, isn't it? At the beginning of your pre-combat, no. So, you know who's entering play. The God of Destiny, which is indestructible to our delicious amount of loyalty. We could go in even deeper. Oh, it's too much. It is too much. Let's grab the life and the +1 through the creature, and then Klothys can take the other. Let's grab from our graveyard as well. You know, it's a little life. We're down to 10. You know, that is risky biscuits. And now we have access to the old bash cannon. We should almost just sacrifice our Innkeeper at this point. Nah. Play smart. Play smart. I think, you know, they would have blocked it because they can only block a few things, and they wouldn't have blocked the Lovestruck Beast, and it has trample, so typically that would be called a chump blocker, and you would interrupt that damage. But thankfully, because of the trample damage, it's still, the interaction still happens, so you're not actually interrupting the attack line. If you guys are newer to the game and unfamiliar with the term of chump blocking, or a chump or sacrifice interaction, well, this just stops that. This already has indestructible. So we'll kill this and take 7. I guess they could replay it. Have they not played from the grave here? I don't think so. Yeah, they must have. Good game. That's 3 in a row. Crushing it through Mythic. Absolutely lovely. And, you know, like I said at the start of this video, at the beginning of the season when it drops, a lot of us are racing to Mythic. And this is going to be my deck. You know, full disclosure, this is what I'll probably be playing with 75+% of the time, as I just immediately grind right into Mythic. Our opponent goes first, and we have a delicious hand. Absolutely. Can we pick up a cleave? Or a henge, maybe, here? Oh, there goes that, our beloved answer right off the top. We shouldn't have focused on it yet. Rogues are what's for dinner. This is going to be the true test. And, you know, Rogues is one of those things where, like, I think you can consistently grind it out, but there's going to be those games where they just go full tilt on you, and it's, you know, not unpleasant. No Lurrus as a companion, so we know they're running Xerath, which is available at 4 mana, so, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And they already have 10 in the grave, which is, you know, about the funniest thing I've ever heard. I absolutely hate it. Let's just try to mitigate it. I don't know, right? Like, let's do our best just to stop whatever is happening to us right now, because it's unpleasant. I do not like it. They better have 4 land in hand and not a single into the story or Thought Thief. Oh my gosh. Look at this. No blocks, that's fine. Hit for 6. Down to 11. It's annoying. And I hate it. At least we can get a hit in. They're gonna get us. They were on the play. They had a perfect hand. Like 2 Enforcers, a Windrobber, and a Thought Thief. That's already disgusting. Let's see what these other cards are. You know, if they have the perfect hand, they probably have the perfect hand. You know what I mean? Why go halfway? Right? Go full rogue if you're gonna. Oh my god. This is brutal. We pretty much need to double block, but we're gonna get hit with a... It was a Zarazan in their hand. And they're already looking in our graveyard. They're like, oh, I guess we'll take whatever we want. Let's just... Good game, bro. We just got turned. No Zarazan. Interesting. I thought there was for sure. We're still dead because they just have flyers, so it's not even good content. The end of a win rate. How about that, right? We're going first here. We don't have much lands. You know, we do have 1-drop, 2-drop, but it's too slow. So I think we toss it. And this looks awkward too. Let's toss the Rimrock. We'll play slow with the Mammoth. Hopefully pull a Mountain so the Embereth's not slow as well. But let's just get it out of the way unless there's a threat. Cleave is gone. Okay. I'd rather lose a Cleave than a Henge, I guess. Let's get it out of the way. Smashing can be removal, but I feel like it's going to be just kind of like a Ugin control out, so there might not be any removal for this 2-hit. Instant speed removal? No. Interesting. I guess we're getting lucky. It's breaking our way so far. Oof. And we pull the Henge right after. That was a very good play of them. Nice read on killing that. Even though they'd seen our hand and knew that we didn't have it yet. Very good read. We need to get this Henge in play. If they leave the Giant alone, we have it. But I doubt it. I seriously doubt it, right? Okay, so we get the damage. We need to top deck creatures at this point. Or else we're going to be castling a single token. Oh no, we need that. That's something red. Tap, so you have to tap this as well. Let's pay 2 red. We know this. Alright, well you can see our passage. Which would have been a good card to have in our hand. Right? That would have been our Henge in play if we had that passage. They have hit us absolutely perfect at every turn. I wish they knew how lucky they were. That's absolutely incredible. Just perfect. Flawless. Like, we are getting gooned, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. Okay, our attack lane opens up again. Right? Big woofs here. Killing our Embereth, which is a decent play. Let's pull another forest. Cats are in house today. Oh, maybe they're not. Not on the screen anyways. Really? Just hitting us with the removal. Like nobody's business. Land Innkeeper. Innkeeper is nice. Oh, you know what's better than the Innkeeper? A questing beast! The lame thing is, we trade with it, so no attacks, sadly. And I want to use the reduction to get our Henge out finally. So we're basically counting that they don't have removal. Or a discard. Gross. This is what I'm talking about. They're hitting us absolutely perfectly. Do we play our Ooze that dies to the Enforcer, or do we try to get the Henge? We're going to discard next turn. This hurts. We're going to lose the Henge. We are about to lose the Henge. We've one pull from our own grave for life. Because if we keep the Ooze, we can block the Expert. Ouch. Disgusting. We're getting K-Izzled. They can do this at instant speed, so we basically just want to wait. And we have to trade with this Death Touch somehow. Yikes. That puts us to 6. Last turn. Alright, the great top deck wars of 2020 commence. We are looking for... don't even know. A God of Destiny would be quite enjoyable once we're top decking, right? This is also interesting. I'm sure there's removal in hand. You know what? That's been a big part of their deck so far. Come on. There it is. Okay. Whatever. Sure. No blocks. I'll go 1 for 1. They must have another defender now. Land, whatever. Sucks. 13. They take the draw. They lose 3 life down to 10. This is where we want some high damage output. Oh, that's what they get. Oh, they get our god. Now we mill for 4. They have done so well against us. This is too much. This is like when, you know, Robert of the Rich is exiling everything just perfectly. Like, the stars have aligned for our opponent here. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And, you know, they've gone out on a limb. And nice. Good game, man. We knew it was gonna happen, just like right away. And they hit us absolutely perfect. Down to 7. They hit for another 7 here. We will have to defend, but it's lethal next turn. We are so close if they don't have removal. And you know what? Did they not kill our Castle Embereth on us? We would have lethal if they didn't kill that Castle Embereth. This is what I'm talking about. We got full comboed here. I'm sure there's removal, so it wouldn't have mattered. But, oh my god. They got everything just lining up perfectly for them. We had them at every turn. Can I pull an Embereth out? Right? Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Good for them. Hello, good game. And, you know, you can't win them all, but you can certainly try your best. Woof! The land is incorrect. We have to toss it. This looks fairly good. We have the Mammoth to try to get in. We will probably toss. It's a hard throw here. We want the 2 Knights to go full aggro. The Ooze is probably really good because of the meta. So we toss the Smashing, play this as the land. Just hold on to it, and we'll try to play it as a creature later. Yikes. Selfless Savior's disgusting. So even if we don't get what we need, we can still play our Mammoth as a land, push the Elemental up. Hit for 2, down to 17. So doing our part, doing our part. We can drop the Mammoth, play the Ooze. That's not the worst. Boros Winota is my call on deck, now that we see the second land. Bonecrusher on our Elemental makes me sad. Another in play, which would be really cool to have too. Land and tapped. Perform. Done 13. We need a red source, and we need a cleave. We can Ooze and Boulder Rush next turn. They take the turn off to play the Pack Leader and another Savior, which is only good on attacking dogs, not defending. Interesting. Or we could just take a draw. We take our hit. if they're sacking the savior to save the pack leader, I think that's fine, right? It does stop whatever damage is about to take place. As far as they know, we have a Bonecrusher Giant in hand, and as soon as they sack it, we hit it on the stack. We're sneaking the Ooze in, and then next turn is Innkeeper, Rimrock Knight. Oh, nice. They go the other way with it, and we lose our champion. I was not expecting that. Whoops. That's okay. It's okay. Down to 12. Maybe we should have just went with the draw. It's hard to say. The Watchdog can block us now. Maybe we can drop a passage or something here. So we keep the land back. It's just another land. We'll play our mountain though. So we should have played a forest actually, and then the could have attacked and traded. There's this dumb indestructible thing though still, which makes me more upset than I can actually share. Do we just keep pushing through the dogs? We're gonna lose our elemental. But we should keep pushing through these dogs, right? No attacks. That's a judgment call. It sucks because I'm sure there's a hand filled with replacement dogs, so we're gonna try to hold it back. They do have one blocker, but they're pretty low on life, and if we could pick up a cleave off the top, we're in good hands, good shape. No attacks. Mammoth just as the creature, I guess. And we need them not to get a Winota in play. And we save this for next turn? No, we play it now. Let's take the dog from their grave. And we can just keep making this ooze bigger. I think that's going to be a good plan. We need to kill these non-humans. So we should attack with the things that typically won't block. Right, the 1/1's a useless blocker. It's a 3/3 now. Let's take advantage of that. The Rimrock Knight also can't block. They're gonna save the Watchdog or the Bonecrusher Giant? Watchdog. Good call. It's a dog. It benefits from the pack leader. We do have their field under... Never mind! Like a glove. You dog. Woof, woof, baby. The pack leader is just an amazing card. So this gets indestructible. Oh no, it has to attack itself. It's unpleasant, but... Oh, so it's this. What's nice about having things in the graves, we can actually just take them, right? And that's going to make the ooze Really good for us. Offsetting the damage they're doing. They have to block because of how low they are on life. So we get to pick up another dog here. And we're just kind of using the brute force unlock here. Just push through. Oh, we forgot to take that, but we'll wait. We miss out on 1 damage. It doesn't matter, we have lethal. Again, with that 6 if they don't start blocking it, and that does work, but now we're eating their hand away, which is good for us too. And this is 100% Winota, which didn't get pulled, which is great news for us. They should attack at least with the Vigilance. And I guess we, you know, start grabbing things. I want these cards tapped, so the more tapped we can get them, the better. We're at 22 and we get hit for 7. Nope. Big hit, down to 13. It is pretty annoying, but it still works. Like, this Hollow Blade's gonna grab Indestructible. But their attackers have Indestructible anyways. We need a Cleave, like, long ago. Force the discard. I'm assuming it's just the discard. I'm so confused. What is happening? Just a kill. I'm okay with that, because that's like an unblockable creature, basically. Another Mammoth in play. I sure wish those were adventure cards, so we could get that draw. Let's take their creatures. So we're offsetting a bit of their damage, and now we do have a Mammoth to block. We need them not ever to draw a Winota, and we definitely need to draw an Embercleave. Long ago. We're both just like kind of in nowhere la la land. This 9/9 is quite formidable though. This isn't a dog though, we can just kill this thing. You think, no, they've only have 1 red source. It is human though. And this doesn't have Indestructible because that other thing didn't attack, and it's non-human, so let's definitely take that instead. This is okay. 3 damage sucks, but it is okay. Right, we can gain more than 3 life per turn with the Ooze, at least for the time being. Especially if we keep trading creatures like this. Giant gets played as a big boy. Because they can't double play it. I love it. Still no adventure. No attacks. They're not gonna sack their dog. They'll probably do that blade. And that puts us in an awkward position. We're scrapping as much life as we can. We have a 12-12 in play that is in need of an Ember Cleave. In a big way. Right? We shut our opponent down from aggroing us out. Another blade. Disgusting. Ask and ye shall receive. Unless they have destroy target attacking creature. Right, there is that. Oof. 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 Alright, they go first. There's a lot going on in this hand. But I like it. I like what's going on in the hands. A little aggressive. We could get shut down easily here, but hey, we're gonna do our best. We'll see. We'll let them log in and snipe us real quick. It'll take them a second to find us. Let's go. Let's go, bruh. Oh. Not bad, but let's sneak that out. 2-drop, 3-drop. Ooh. The plot thickens. Let's increase our field presence to reduce our cleave by 2 for 1. Delicious. It's a mirror down, baby. It's a walk-off, ladies and gentlemen. I remember Zoolander as a kid. It's the funniest movie. Wake me up before you go. They're just having a gasoline fight. Oh, man. That was a peak era for comedy. Alright, they're trying to henge us. And this thing can block real easy, like. And it sucks because they're on the play, and we could even henge out too. This is going to be really awkward. There could be removal. Lovestruck Beast to Lovestruck Beast. Something like a Primal Might. They could go right into the henge. They could cleave us. Wow. We are going to get hit so hard here. Ember-Cleave! I want to play first. Again, we can hit for our 12, 13, 14, leaves them at 5. They were on the play. We both have ideal play lines. And it's the wrong mana that it produces. We should have played our element first, so we'll go. You know, Gallia spends our red mana too. what we can do is attack for 2. Ember Cleave on a defensive Lovestruck Beast. How's that for big brain? Survive at 1 more second. Oh, why can't we be on the play with that hand? They can't attack without a 1/1, but we know with so many cards in hand that the 1/1s do exist. It's left now, though, so maybe they're unfamiliar with that. Right? But you cannot risk them not having that 1/1. That's absolutely disgusting. Can we double cleave? Can we get a double cleave, ladies and gentlemen? Engine play. We've 3 available mana. We should do anything. But it's like really hard because that bird, right? If we hit in with Gallia, it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 without blocks. So we get close to forcing the blocks, right? And they can just pump the bird to kill us next turn is the thing, which is really sad as well. So we really tried to fight through it, I think. We did definitely do our best. Is there a way out here? No. Definitely not. No mana once our attack phase opens. Ouch. They just have us in the air with the Phoenix. Good game. And they could have attacked. Like, if we did go for it, right? They could have just dropped the Brushfire, not pumped it, and killed us with the boss there. Oh! You know, it helps to be on the play in best of 1, and that's kind of why I like best of 3 a little bit. Okay, we go first. 3 land, keep 7. Doesn't look that bad. Let's try to get lots of attackers out. Draw another mountain for our cleave. Mill, questing beast in 3 land. Into a henge. The plot thickens, ladies and gentlemen. I really quite enjoy that. Bowling to the field. 1. Paying life for the beast is going to kind of be awkward. And then we need to pick up a land in the next 2 draws. This one won't count, but we still have to risk it. Oh, counterspell, nice. Okay, we hit for 4, that's fine. You know, it's gonna hit. We're gonna get there. They're either not playing, or they're countering the Great Henge. So, whatever they're doing, they basically have to do it here. The Seize is not gonna do it. I don't know how many cards they can draw, but I don't think it's enough. So again, Mammoth in play. Land comes in tap, so this is irrelevant. Mammoth in tapped. Now our Henge is active, and we hit for another 4 down to 11, which is a good start. Our Henge outvalues Ominous Seas 10 to 1. Thirst for Meaning is an instant speed draw at sorcery speed, looking for more land, I guess? No, just the draws on the seas. And then there's a land, okay. And now here's a Defender, perfect. Bingo bango bongo. We could go into draw land instead, which is really good, but I think the single draw from the Innkeeper and just having it in play for next turn is fine. Oh, can we play that? It's tapped. That's too bad. And again, we hit for all. It's a 0/4. It can't kill anything. It can just stop the Rimrock Knight. And the reason they stop the Rimrock Knight rather than the Beast and die to it, because, you know, they stop the Beast once, that's 5 damage stop, and it's gone. But they can stop the Rimrock Knight every single turn. Stop 3, 6, 9. You can see how the block damage adds up to be more beneficial to block something and survive than block the big thing and die. For those of you who are unaware of why that block sequence happened that way. Gargoyle cannot block, right? They've got too few cards in hand. Red source in play. Yeah, that's just a good game. We go around wide, and we've got 2 stomps, plus we can play 1, or even maybe both of the Giants. We go first, sure, that's great. The hand's really awkward, and we're relying on a nice draw to get us started. Playing slow, double drop next. Oh, wow. Interesting. I think I'm even going to keep the Innkeeper in hands. Nah. Go big or go home, right? It still reduces the cost of cleave if we get there, I guess. That could be beneficial, and, you know, if we do pull something to draw, I think that's going to be super beneficial, too. Just taking it right now as the creature for the draw, and it's a big body to attack next turn. We push the land through, and it also reduces the cost of our Henge, which is really nice. So we're not able to drop it next turn, but regardless, it's still real good. There could be a Shadow of the Sky coming up in our future. Okay, they take the Giant. Hit for 5. Champions push each other up by a +1, +0 because they're knights, and it's whenever another knight is attacking, it gets that buff. Oh, 1 spell a turn. We should have passaged. I'm trying to save the passage if we can get landfall. But what we could have done is passage for the red source and Embereth the champions. So it's going to tap itself here for the draw, which opens up a lot for us. Take the hit. Play the Giant. Oh, 1 spell a turn. I forgot about that. You fool. That's good. Do nothing to kill that. They're doing a little bit more damage than them each turn. We should have just played it and forced their exile. I don't care about the Watchers at all. And it's each player, so they're stuck being really slow too with a full hand. They have to instant speed us, but how much instant speed does White have? The life gain's good for them, I'll admit. fast it's coming in tapped is a deal breaker. That's why we have to get it in first. Right? That way we could crack it. Not that I knew. Well, this is non-basic as well, actually. So we're set up. The henge is kind of awkward. They don't want to wipe, but at the same time they have to. Oh, that will do it. That will win the game. Shoot, we need to cleave off the top. 100% we need to cleave. Down to 8 too, which sucks. The nice thing about the henge is the replayability of cards on top, so I think we're better off just to try to find our cleave. That's not it, but it is good for next turn. Get a trade. We're getting hit for at least 6. Down to 2. And they're going to be up to 16. We're running into trouble against the life gain. Conquers death on a giant. They get the, you know, Pegasi. All very good, haha. Not quite lethal, but that Archon of Vimeria has put us in our tracks 100%. It's not enough. And it certainly wasn't our Ember-Henge. Oh, it's non-basic coming in tapped as well. It's really screwing with us. Good game. Right, that's like definitely not enough, seeing as all the life gain they have. We get really close, but it's just putting us off by the perfect amount. Crazy stuff. Our opponent goes first. That should be fine. The land does look correct. We're going to Embereth in unless we pull a mountain. We have Gallia on turn 2. Well, maybe not. We need this as a forest. Frustrating. Mammoths, you know, have their positive and their drawbacks. I think it's still more net gain, and it is there later. That's pretty funny. So we'll keep that for our Ember-Henge then without having to pay for our smashing. Mammoth in play. They need to remove it. Hopefully they don't. They do. Lovely. Let's take it. Play our non-haste creature. Kind of taunt them into a shatter here. I almost don't think they have it since they used their Skyclave. Oh, healer, that's fine with us. I want a beast, but at the same time, it's like, let's get the value train flowing. Giant in play. You get the draw. Since it is Heliod, the smashing is more relevant than the Symbiosis, I believe. And we get 3 damage in, down to 20. Okay, Bonecrusher Giants. Oh no, they take the Innkeeper for the draw engine. Nice. I like the Giant staying with us. Engine play. Just good tactics. Alright, land comes in as a red source. Now we take the draw. 1 green left over. Pick up an Edgewall Innkeeper. Oh, nice. Disenchant. So sorry, Great Henge. But this is a big hit. And we choose to throw our Questing Beast at a 50% chance. Draw 2 cards. Take action. No! But we do get an Embercleave, right? The 2-for-1 is just general conversion of relative value. We hit for 7. We can cleave next turn. So I think the draw is really worth it. 9 times out of 10. And the only way we would have gotten burned there badly is if it was like Questing Beast for 2 land. But these things are unlikely. And we pick up a couple things we can use, right? A creature which can attack for free because of the Embercleave's reduction. Which is actually already being reduced to its full extent, so not really. But that's fine. This also pushes up the Rimrock Knight, which is nice. This hit's just disgusting. We have a Castle Embereth as well, which we just capped from doing. Yep. So we still want to cleave the Giant, because if they're targeting it, it'll still deal 2 damage. It's a lot of DPS. Maybe they'll give their 0/4 defender lifelink. I'm joking, just having fun. I'm sure there is something. There's Flash Exile, isn't there? It's like Castaway. So they're bouncing this, countering this, copying the wall. Let's get it while our cost and reduction is still at its maximum. And yeah, let's put it on the Giant, I guess. Just so if they do target it, it'll hurt the most. Woof, right? They should almost double block that, because it's the best way to stop the most damage is by double blocking the 10. But again, you know, if you keep blocking that one over and over, that's good too. Let's end our turn. I'm going to stomp them. They could shatter here, and then I want to have that creature ready. So Banishing Light on the cleave. That's fine. Speaker of the Heavens can now get stomped instead, LOL. Sorry. That's gotta hurt. Ooh. And we have lethal. Good game. So we're playing a lot of matches here, and a couple rough goes at it, but overall, not too shabby. Hey, so what do you guys think of it? We got boxed out a couple matches there, though, but it feels like unless your opponent has the perfect play or they're on the play, you kind of have things wrapped up. Whether it's hitting hard with the Ember Cleave or outvaluing through the Henge, we kind of have both options available, and it's really nice. So there's not much that we can't do. Of course, aggro decks thrive on the play, unless we're playing best of 3, and then, you know, even then we can be on the play twice. But it's a little awkward. So it's good the way it is. We're running 62 cards. I don't think I want to trim land. I just treat the MDFCs as, you know, the sorceries, unless we need them as land, which is what we do anyways. Typically, I run very lean on land. And today, not only are we running, again, quite lean on land, but we're running heavy on low CMC creatures with that. So that's kind of the balance, right? Our highest CMC is Questing Beast. It should be fine. Again, we played a ton of matches today. We're playing with MTG Assistant. You can get all of your statistics and everything included there. What did we name this deck, and where is our win rate here? It wasn't that good. It was like 60-something%. Right here, 69%. Ooh, we couldn't have planned that out ourselves better. And we actually went, I believe, 5-0 within the play queue before we started recording our games today. So, you know, it's even better than that as well. Sorry, 3-0. So, you know, play queue, we're smashing it. Ladder, you know, we're fighting it out. We lost a couple of hard matches, but overall, the win rate is positive, and, you know, if we can kind of balance between that 60 and 70%, you know, we're sitting at that 69 right now, like I said, so that's really good. If you can win 7 out of 10 matches, you're going to move up within the ranks, especially if you can tie some of those win streaks together. So download the Assistant within the Overwolf link in the description below, and thank you guys for hanging in there with me today. This was kind of a longer outro. We will be back in a few seconds in the next video, and we'll see you soon.